Welcome to the 6 p.m. Soul Center Dharma Recovery Meeting in Spokane, Washington, and also on Zoom, so everywhere. So glad to be here today. Glad to see all your faces. Glad to see old faces I used to see here that are on the screen, and that's also something that I find really comforting, that I can still see people even after they move. And I had a whole other meditation planned until I started looking at stuff today. And I decided for me, I really wanted to look at this and talk about this. So I was going to dive deeply, maybe too deeply, into the second part of the Eightfold Path, which is wise intention. But we also have spaciousness. Is another way of looking at it that we use here at Soul Center. And I thought, well, I'm going to look at this word spaciousness. And it's a word I hear a lot of times, like be spacious. And I have an idea what it means, but it's not something I really contemplated or really looked at closely. And so I wanted to look at it closely. Um, so I did some research, and I have a wonderful book, Upside Down Zen. I can't remember the author's name. That's really great, and just a couple other things online. And really got an idea of what spaciousness is. Um, Space is uncomfortable. That wonderful feeling of boredom, which causes so many, myself included, to relapse, is space. It's that space. And yesterday I was very tired and I couldn't do work in the yard because a bunch of tree branches fell. So we were waiting for an arborist, and I didn't do anything because I think I was exhausted, and I think it went into to today because I'd been working pretty hard with much enthusiasm. I loved it, but I think I needed some rest, and it was making me uncomfortable. I was beginning to feel depressed. Um, And I did have that. Well, will you look at that? I'm stopped now, and there goes all my gusto for everything. Now I'm just like, can't believe that I'm just so tired and that I'm just gonna lie here. Um, and there are points in my life where I would kill for that time, but yesterday I wasn't appreciating it. Um, so I do that irritability, restlessness, and discontent, as they love to say in 12-step meetings. Wow, that's what boredom is to me. Boredom is not a lack, it's the lack causing my own aversions and fears and everything just to creep to the surface and start tickling me. And, it's not a great thing. Um, so just some of the things I'd looked at and learned from other people mainly. Um, Spaciousness can apply to many, many, many things. In my job, the job that I lost a few years ago, and I'm so glad I lost because it gives me more space not to have that job. Um, and that's literally the reason why I'm glad that job's not there. I just realize I have more space because I'm not as packed with things to do. But I was talking with someone and said all the different duties I had on the job. And this person was an administrator for Spokane Public Schools who I was talking with. And he said, yeah, when they give you too much to do, you never really do anything well. I thought, wow. I mean, wow, that also meant for me, if I'm trying to do too much, there's a lack of quality in my life. And I'm definitely on the try to do too much side of things. Um, space, spaciousness in relationships would be when I hear someone and they're working through something, me not needing to give them solutions, to give them the space to find their own path and what they want to do, to spend more time listening and not pretending like I have all the answers for everybody, or at least for them at that time. and to allow people to sit in their own discomfort. If something's going on in their life that's uncomfortable, not attempt to rescue. That's not my job. My job is to be supportive, but to allow the discomfort, whether it be anger or shame or whatever they need to go through, to allow them to go through that, but let them know I'm there. And I think listening is more than anything. Time. One thing I would be late a lot because I was trying to squish activities in. And squishing is a habit energy of mine, which I'm learning not to do. So being on time, leaving early. So if I forget something, I have time to get it. Or if there's a problem with traffic, it doesn't cause me to be late because I gave myself space to get, excuse me, to wherever I'm going without anxiety. I'm without that stress, and I'm not trying to squish things in like, oh, I can do this errand really quick or this chore really quick before I leave the house, but know that that can wait, and it's more important to give myself space. My schedule, lots of spaces in schedules. Um, I read that and I looked at that. I go, that's amazing. A good schedule will have more white space than schedule space. Allow time for transitions between activities. Jack Duffy, a student of Robert Aiken, who I got to meditate under for quite a while, actually. He was a psychiatrist. He would meet with people. And between meeting with people, he would take time not just to do notes, but to meditate, to clear out all the energy he had from the last session so he would be present for the next, to have a comfortable transition. And it allows me time for a self check, like where am I at? To just move and to stretch. I had actually, a story I wanted to include here. I had actually caused a relapse. I'd had 8 years where my eating disorder was in remission and I was not drinking or smoking marijuana or doing any drugs. 8 years. And I remember for years of it, like the last 3 years, I was going to uh, 4 or 5 meetings a week. I was meeting with people 4 or 5 days a week in the morning. I was doing service work. I was the head of a 12-step program in eastern Washington and northern Idaho. And so I was doing work with that. And I felt like I was too busy. Like what I was doing to sustain my recovery in itself was unsustainable. And I did end up with that overwhelmed feeling and being so busy and not giving myself space. I did end up crashing and burning. And it took me a while to come out of that. It took me 3 years to stop drinking and even longer to deal with food. Body, take space with my body, allow my body its limits, to work within its limits, not to feel a need to push it. And if I do need to rest, like, the last few days, allow myself to honestly rest. Space before reacting. Meditation gives me more space between a trigger and a reaction, which allows me to live closer to an ethical, skillful, eightfold path way for me. Not worry about text or emails as much. Can even schedule times to respond to them. I don't have to respond to them as I get them. Allow solutions to evolve naturally, not try to push them. One thing I did study, and I wish I could remember the writer, but if you look up subtraction as solution, you'll be led to on the internet. You'll be led to subtraction as solution. You'll be led to a podcast on how to lead a happy life. I think is the name of the podcast. But this person really was big into a lot of these things I just said. And we should always consider doing less and not get caught up. They refer to it as a culture of accumulation, accumulating responsibilities, um, power, things. It just not get out of the more that I can get caught up in as an addict. Addict was always more and more alcohol, more food, more of anything that made me feel better, even when it was not effective anymore. So put things in reverse. What I love about spaciousness is when I think in terms of spaciousness with the second part of the Eightfold Path, it reminds me that Eightfold Path is not a goal. The things in it are not goals. They are intentions and spacious, the spaciousness for those intentions that is happening right now. My intention is to be kind. My intention is to be mindful. I don't make those goals as there's something that's achieved. There's something that I do skillfully now and improve over time through practice. But there's no goal that, I'm going to be able to meditate 4 hours straight every day of the week, which would be insane for me, in my present life. It's spaciousness. It's being that way now, my intentions now. So spend just a little time. And my favorite, I have, I'm going to say it's my favorite because it is, but other than may you be happy and peaceful, which I do every morning, which is really meta. It is meta. It's, it's a meta chant. Um, but this one is one day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. It's from a Thich Nhat Hanh, and you can follow along, or you can just listen. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. Spend a minute just following our breath, being with the calm, the spaciousness. Dedication of merit. May all places be held sacred. May all beings be cherished. May all injustices of oppression, devaluation, and theft be fully righted, remedied, and healed. May all who are captured by hatred be freed to the love that is our birthright. May all who are bound by fear discover the safety of understanding. May all who are weighed down by grief be given over to the joy of being. May all who are lost in delusion find a home on the path of wisdom. May all wounds to forest, rivers, deserts, oceans, all wounds to Mother Earth be lovingly restored to bountiful health. May all beings everywhere delight in whale song, bird song, and blue sky. May all beings abide in peace and well being, awaken and be free. Namaste.